Distinguished colleagues, thank you very much for the opportunity to present Khabarovsk Krai's position regarding the development of modern manufacturing. We can talk a lot about how the Khabarovsk region uses government support, regional support, and what kind of business models are being implemented to ensure a stable rate of growth of industrial manufacturing in terms of the regional split and the sector split. So please allow me, as part of today's discussion, to focus on some key aspects which are really significant and require collective discussions and finding out agreed approaches. The investment attractiveness of the Khabarovsk region, as well as the other regions of the Far East in terms of manufacturing, results from a number of factors. The opportunity to cooperate with other plants in the Khabarovsk region, the developed defense sector, the things that are necessary for the development of this sector, but still there are some issues such as the limited market because of the remoteness from consumption centers and the lack of competitiveness on the consumer market. Of course, the government is taking some measures to improve the situation, as well as the regional governments, which enables us to meet a number of existing challenges and improve our models. Of course, we can talk not just about planning, but about the creation of special conditions favorable for the investment climate. And today, the President of Russia has clearly indicated the need to create equal opportunities for businesses and the population through business tax and tariff preferences and special territories of social and economic development will be used for that purpose. There are two of them already in the Khabarovsk region, and I would like to turn your attention to the fact that the territories of accelerated growth in Russia are aimed at manufacturing. That's manufacturing for the shipbuilding sector and the aviation sector. And the other territory that we have already has manufacturing specifics, which actually shapes the cluster of production of construction materials. At the same time, given the practice for rapid development areas, our main goal is to coordinate efforts between federal and industry ministries, and we also have to think about how to balance out our industrial policy. Today we are talking about some industrial policy, and we need to use all the preferences in order to attract investment in manufacturing. Let me remind you that the entry threshold in the accelerated development areas is about 500,000 rubles, which is fully affordable not only for large-scale investors but also for minor companies and businesses. At the same time, today we can see some possible risks of the lack of balance in the industrial policy. We are trying to chase investors, but at the same time we can create preferences which will compete with existing manufacturing with the existing businesses. For example, the investment project for the construction of the metals plant with a capacity of 200,000 tons per year is obviously going to compete with the federal and regional efforts aimed at supporting the Amur Metal plant, where 4,000 employees are working, and we also have to think about the social policy given this change. There are examples when certain regions are trying to incentivize the production of different pipes that can be used for heat and water supply. But today, we do not take into account the aspects of the non-price policy and the market capacity. In terms of the balanced investment industrial policy, we believe that it's important to set the priorities involving the saturation of the domestic market with quality products, so that we can also sell those products on the international market. As a result, there will be a trend towards exports of those products. And I believe that support for exports should be more significant. For example, there is the company Technonickel, which is a leader on the isolation materials market, should also get support. And through our joint efforts, we need to provide the opportunities for this plant, for this company, to export its products. Because this is a really important investment product. And it's difficult to find some economically feasible investment in the absence of such support from the government. Please also pay attention to the old problems which restrain the investment potential in the industry sector and which stand in the way of further investments. The first problem is the a low level of using the production capacities. The traditional plants that we have had for a long time, such as some Amur plants and Khabarovsk plants, which were engaged only by 20%. So by the other 80%, they are staying idle. We would like to get more support for the shipbuilding industry of the region, and I believe that it would also be very good to provide support for building more ships of different purposes in the region.
And using this opportunity, I would also like to also state that it is important to support the metallurgical industry in Zabaikalia and the Far East. Also, the work on the formation of a regulation basis which would regulate the expenditures in the Far East and also cover the expenditures for the subsidies paid out for those who are working in the Far East and the North. All this would contribute to make the produce more competitive on the international market. And in using the opportunity that this unique opportunity. I would like to draw the attention of the representatives of different ministries at this session that we are creating an environment which is attractive for businessmen, but they have to understand that the system we are creating needs to tackle the systemic issues connected with the development of new industries, new businesses, which we are creating within the framework of the